farmer looked straight into the banker's eyes and said something so shocking that the entire room went silent. "I want to withdraw $1 million. For a moment, everyone thought it was a joke. The businessman sitting across the table burst out laughing, loud enough to turn heads. A poor farmer asking for $1 million? It sounded impossible. But what happened next shocked everyone so deeply that the laughter slowly turned into fear, disbelief, and finally regret. Stay with this story because the ending will completely change how you look at wealth, power, and respect. And before we go deeper, if you enjoy emotional stories with powerful twists like this, make sure to like the video and subscribe to Emotional Twist right now, because stories like this don't just entertain you, they stay with you long after the video ends. The farmer was not dressed in expensive clothes. His shoes were dusty, his shirt was old, and his hands were rough from years of hard work. He smelled of soil and sweat, not perfume and luxury. The businessman, on the other hand, wore a sharp suit, a gold watch, and a confident smile that said he owned the room. He had built his empire on deals, numbers, and power. To him, money was everything, and people without money were invisible. When the farmer calmly repeated, "I want to withdraw $1 million," the businessman leaned back in his chair and laughed again, louder this time. He looked at the banker and said, "Is this a joke? Does this man even know where he is?" The banker stayed quiet. He looked at the farmer, then at the businessman, and then back at the farmer again. The farmer didn't smile. He didn't argue. He didn't explain. He simply sat there, calm and patient, as if he had all the time in the world. That calmness made the room uncomfortable. The businessman stopped laughing and asked, "Do you even have $1 million?" The farmer nodded slowly. "Yes," he said. "One word. No pride. No fear. Just truth." The businessman smirked and said, "Then prove it." The farmer reached into his pocket and pulled out a small, worn notebook. The pages were old, the edges torn. The businessman laughed again. "You think a notebook proves anything?" he said. But the banker leaned forward. His face changed. He recognized that notebook. It wasn't just paper. It was a record of land, harvests, agreements, and investments made quietly over decades. You see, this farmer didn't chase quick money. He didn't gamble. He didn't show off. While others were busy spending, he was planting. While others were flexing, he was waiting. Year after year, he bought land when it was cheap. He helped neighbors when they were desperate, not for interest, but for partnership. He invested in soil, water, and people. He trusted time more than trends. And time rewarded him. The businessman grew uneasy. He interrupted the banker and said, "Even if he has money, why would he withdraw such a large amount?" The farmer finally looked at him and said something that hit harder than the money itself. "Because today, I don't need approval from anyone." That sentence landed like a punch. The businessman had spent his entire life seeking approval from markets, investors, and powerful people. The farmer had quietly reached a place where he needed none. As the banker began verifying the account, the businessman tried to save face. He joked, he mocked, he whispered to others in the room. But the screen didn't lie. The numbers were real. Not just 1 million, but much more. The laughter completely stopped. The room felt smaller. The businessman swallowed hard. His confidence faded. He realized something painful in that moment. He had judged a man by his clothes, not his character. By his appearance, not his wisdom. The farmer stood up slowly and said, "Money doesn't make noise. Patience does." Then he turned toward the businessman and added, "You laughed because you saw dirt on my shoes. You didn't realize that dirt built everything you own." That silence was louder than any laugh before. The businessman had no response. If this story is making you think, take a second to like this video. It helps stories like this reach more people, and it tells us you want more content like this on Emotional Twist. The banker approved the withdrawal. The farmer didn't celebrate. He didn't smile. He simply thanked the banker and prepared to leave. As he walked out, the businessman finally spoke, his voice low and shaky. "How did you do it?" The farmer stopped but didn't turn around. "I listened more than I spoke," he said. "I waited while others rushed. And I respected what others ignored." Then he walked away. The businessman sat there, staring at the table. For the first time in years, he felt small. Not because he lost money, but because he lost respect for himself. He realized that success isn't always loud. Power isn't always visible. And wealth doesn't always wear a suit. This story isn't just about money. It's about perception. About how easily we underestimate people. About how dangerous pride can be. Somewhere right now, someone is being ignored, laughed at, or judged unfairly. And that same person might be carrying more value than anyone in the room. Near the end of this video, I want to ask you something. Have you ever been underestimated? Or have you ever underestimated someone else? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Your story might inspire someone who needs it today. And if this story moved you, share it with someone who believes success only looks one way. Because sometimes the richest people are the quietest ones in the room. And remember, this was Emotional Twist, where simple stories leave deep lessons.